Anyway, that's it.
Can you hear us on Zoom? Or not?
How about, can you hear us on Zoom?
Thank you. Can you speak as well so we can make sure that we can hear you, Michelle? No,
Pardon me?
Okay, can't hear.
can't hear you. Alright.
Is the volume level?
So what did you do last time, Jen?
I just
Reset it.
shut it down and then went back in.
Yeah, you had to reboot. All right, chance to reboot.
It's not yours.
No, that's.
Frozen, signs of frozen. Jean, just to let you know, Jeff Cummings already drove by the building. He's already come by the
We're
building.
just
and he's
gonna
like,
reboot the room. We'll
he's
be
like-
right back.
hey, there's cars here. When's the event coming? I'm like, you can come in the morning. It's fine. Come in the morning. So that is how.
Thank you.
I'm glad. I hope.
What is- Karen, this is the microphone.
Michelle, can you speak again?
That right there.
See
That's
if
how.
we can hear you now?
Yes.
Perfect.
We can hear you.
Period, I could,
Okay.
but now I can't.
Yeah, that's
So
She's very quiet.
They're very good. Okay, you're all set.
Okay, excuse me, everyone, I'd like to call the December 21st Council on Aging meeting to order. What did I say? Oh my goodness. January 21st. Council on Aging meeting to order. I'm living in 2025, I'm living in the past. We, everybody is online and everybody is in person, which we honestly have never done before, so I've been on the council. So we're good. We do have some people online, but none of the COA members, and I'm thrilled to see so many COA members here tonight. And we've got quite a few guests as well. I'd like to start with public comment, and we'll keep it to 2 minutes if there is any public comment. Because again, that would be the very first time ever. Is there any public comment? No, because we're all, no, I don't, roll call. No, any public comment? Seeing none. I will go through the agenda, the items on the agenda. It's a very short agenda tonight. I have some comments I'd like to make. I put on the retail updates for January 29 on the 6th at the PSC. I put that back on the agenda because I erroneously overlooked it at our last week meeting. So I had to put it back on. And then we've got the COA working group update and discussion. And so my comments tonight, a couple of things. First of all, since this is televised, so we've got a snowstorm coming, I think this weekend. I do want to reach out to the community and say, please make sure your elderly neighbors have help with shoveling their driveways. Just putting that out as a plea to the community. Please make sure you're checking on your neighbors. This weekend is supposed to be very cool. So please check in on those I know that I'm very grateful that I have neighbors that take care of my driveway because it would be very difficult to do the whole thing by myself. So I just wanted to put out that plea. I do also want to mention that there are openings on the COA. We've got an associate member opening, and also Debbie Small, we had to submit a resignation with regret. She really enjoyed working with this council, but she just sends her appreciation to everybody, all the working members. So there is a voting member position also available. I do want to discuss at last week's meeting, we did have a point of order issue, and I just want to clarify with people about that, because I looked into this. And point of order is, again, this is something else that we never had during a meeting. So I did want to talk about what is a point of order and who can call a point of order and what is the protocol for it. And so I'm just going to read from a document. So who can raise a point of order? Any appointed members of the committee may raise a point of order. A point of order is used to correct a violation of rules, process, or decorum during the meeting. Who may not raise a point of order? Members of the public, elected officials who are not members of the committee, select board members serving as liaisons are legally a member of the public for the meeting. So only COA members can raise a point of order. And so only committee members have procedural authority. And my role as the chair, and this is open meeting law, that I recognize speakers and I maintain order, that I rule on points of order if they are called, either sustained or denied. I determine when non-members may speak, and I can remind non-members that points of order are limited to committee members. So any one of you can raise a point of order if you feel that there's a violation of procedure. And so the role of the public may speak only during public comment, only recognized by the chair, may not interrupt, deliberate, or raise points of order. And this is deliberation is limited to committee members. The public has the right to observe, not to participate. All procedural rules apply equally regardless of who is present. And that is from Mass General Laws, Chapter 38, Sections 18 through 25.
Yeah,
So I
let's
just
talk
wanted,
about it.
that issue came up last week. I just wanted to clarify about it.
Your volume up all the way?
And okay, the next thing, we will have now Joey is online. Do we have to call him? Do we have to do a roll call? Okay. So we are going to have an open discussion tonight. I do hope that, I do want to make sure that everybody has a chance to participate. I expect a lot of respectful dialogue. I do ask that no side conversations happen, that you wait to be called on, and so we'll just those are my comments. Anyone has anything to add to that, or any questions about it?
The cookies are good.
There's one.
One left.
Give it to John.
No, I've already had two. I'm the only one that's had two, I believe.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
It's a dirty job, but I'll do it.
Sitting right here tempted.
The way to use that phrase. I love that.
So the next item on the agenda are the recal updates for the January 29th, and that is you, Jenna, and Carrie.
Yeah, so Carrie and I will be hosting a chat at the senior center. I think the last time I checked, we had 15, it's probably more now. I don't know, Carrie, do you know the exact number?
I don't.
signed up? But we strategically planned it after an event that's already going on to try to drum up more interest and get some folks who come to the center all the time involved in the conversation. Since we have been doing a lot with the construction phase of the project. So it's just going to be an update on the construction and about the operational plans that we've been presenting and just an open conversation. So anyone's more than welcome to come. Doesn't have to just be 60 plus. So if anyone here wants to come, that's listening on the Zoom, feel free.
You did put it in the newsletter that it's you and COA. And
Yeah.
so I will be away at a conference. I won't be able to attend, but I'm hoping that there will be COA members that can be there also. Yes,
Well, I was gonna make a comment about that, because
Yeah.
the way it's listed, it reads COA update. But it wasn't really our planning or our scheduling, and as you said, it was put on before I think you asked if anyone can attend. So if you're gonna continue these, which I think you indicated you wanted to, maybe change the heading so that if no one from COA can be there, it's not misleading.
Yeah, and I think that I did ask for that to be changed before it went into the pleasantries, my apologies. And my intention of that was because I didn't want quorum issues either. So I didn't want it to seem like the
Another
COA was
good
running
point.
it, because then it would have to be an open meeting, but if a couple of you come. So moving forward, we can kind of discuss what we want to do as a whole, but yeah, there wasn't a lot of opportunity to reach out. We needed to plan a date. So hopefully a couple of you can make it, and if not, we can certainly update the committee on what happened in the meeting, take notes, things like that.
Well, that did come out of our December meeting too. and You
Yes.
said that you would do it. And so, you immediately put it on and you suggested that you do it after lunch and you did it after lunch and learn. So that's great. Oh, are you volunteering or you have
No,
questions?
I have
Well,
a
I'm already signed up, but my question, is there a cap on that meeting?
No,
For
So what if 200 people show up?
No,
Oh,
it's 20. I think we have a cap of 20.
Yeah, the cap is 20.
Yeah.
Then you've got 14 showed up, so.
12.
yeah, I mean, we can take more than 15, so we
Yeah,
can talk to.
it's just the,
Linda,
it's just
yeah.
the space in the room.
Which is gonna be upstairs.
Yeah.
Marilyn?
Several things. I would love to come, but I've got an art class and there are
Oh, great.
priorities. If we could also, thinking ahead, and I know this is, you will when you get there, but I'm already there. If we could alternate or periodically also do one in the early evening in the library, because most people, well, first place, the people who work aren't gonna get here, but the audience that we know we're not touching, that we're hoping with the new building that will be the outreach and the expanded inclusivity are not likely to be here. I think they're more likely to come on an early evening, and library seems to be a place that we get a better draw on that than here, just because this place attracts a lot of people who come here all the time. It's their home away from home. So if we could cycle around with these or something like that.
Okay, Kate?
I just wanted to say, because you started to ask, I plan to, but I'm willing to walk away if it becomes a quorum issue. If more than 6 of us show up.
Okay, after Jean's question, I'll ask who will be able to be there. Jean?
Marilyn mentioned what I was concerned about, but my other thought is if it can't be an evening participation or schedule, even a Saturday morning around 11 at the library, so we don't have to open here. I think that would give those that are working or 60 plus, or even the residents that are interested, an alternate time.
Yeah,
to-
and I think the precipice behind this was to kind of inform the folks who come here. That was my intention. So if it's
Okay,
gonna
I
be
was-
more
I
of
was
a
looking at it
community-wide
differently.
conversation, I'm hoping that we can kind of table that community-wide discussion till we have more of the operations lined up and things like that. But that's just my
I think we
opinion.
were looking
but-
at it as more of an opportunity for people to get to know Jenna and myself as a team.
I
that
thought
cut-
it was the general.
No, for people that come here. That's how I was interpreting it.
I think, well, that's also, I'm sorry, we're getting next to mention. I think you should keep in mind the limited parking at the library. And if you have anything scheduled at night, who the heck wants to park on a side street and walk up to the library? I don't. So that's a problem when you hold any kind of meeting at the library.
Yeah, but this would be possibly for those that aren't available during the day.
We've still taken up a parking spot. If there's no parking, you can.
Excuse me, could just remind me of the time of the meeting date and stuff?
It's 2 to 3 on January 29th, which is next Thursday.
And it got into pleasantries as 2 to 2:30, right?
Right.
That was somehow.
Yes,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah.
Thank
And originally it was, to get, especially, those who attend events here at the PSC, the 60 plus members here, as a starting place, and you think you've been some nice ideas as well.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Thank you. So who will be able, is anyone able to be there as a representative of the COA?
Yeah, I'm already signed up.
And John?
Oh, great.
And Tom, okay, thank you.
And if there is a quorum, we can always call a meeting, right?
Yes. Three,
What's it posted?
that's
Oh,
three,
that's right.
right?
No, but there's other
And
times
four.
that's happened.
So that's four,
Okay,
okay.
so
that's
far we're
not-
good.
Yes, okay, great, thank you. And then I'd love to hear back how that goes, so.
But a quorum does show up, you can always call a meeting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, you can call a meeting, this is nothing to go on.
Mhm.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? Okay, we have the COA working group update and discussion. Everyone should have received the packets and had a chance, I hope that everyone did have a chance to review the packet, because there was a lot of information. Oh, Carrie.
I have
you some
extras.
Paper
Yeah.
copies, does anybody need a paper copy? So. So since everybody has had a chance to look through them, I'm looking forward to the COA working through updating us and the most important points. This is one thing,
I'm going to talk about this document Aaron was referring to, and it's titled Town of Reading Community Services Department Joint Presentation on Braxton California 12/15/25. Many of you were there. Before I get into the document, though, I would like to say a few words on this document. And I want to acknowledge that the work group's questions and comments may at times feel very detailed and even challenging. It's intentional on our part, and it comes from a strong sense of responsibility. The Council on Aging's primary goal is to speak on behalf of Reading residents age 60 and over, who now make up a large percent of our community. And we take that responsibility very seriously. The original recount committee undertook extensive research to address long-standing space and programming limitations at Pleasant Street Center, while also keeping inclusivity across all ages remaining. That work led to a vision of a shared facility, bringing together elder and human services and recreation. We realized it's an ambitious goal, and it's not an easy one to get right. There's a wide variety of ages and people that are going to be in this new building. So it's ambitious. And we know from other communities that some similar efforts have worked very well, while others have faced real challenges. So we can learn from mistakes, take advantage of what was done well, and then learn from what we can improve. By asking these careful questions now and working collaboratively as we have been with the Community Services Division. Our aim is to help ensure that this project succeeds and meets the needs of older adults, while also serving residents of all ages in a thoughtful and sustainable way. So it's a collaboration between a very diverse group of people that are going to create this building. So this document that you have in front of you, that was included in the packet, is a compilation of the comments that were expressed by COA members at the December 15th meeting. And focus of that meeting was on recap. And at this point, I'd like to open it up for discussion. And I am going to make a crazy assumption that all COA members have had a chance to go through this document and read what's here. And I'd like to open it up for discussion. I feel about it, I feel about some of the comments, all of the comments. Do you think some things are missing that was talked about at the meeting, but wasn't really addressed and still needs to be addressed and be part of this document? The way the document's organized, I'm sure you figured this out, is on the left-hand side is the Jen's text from the slideshow. And on the right-hand side are comments focused around that particular slide. So I'd just like to open it up and see what people have to say.
So Nancy, thank you so much for that introduction and for sharing with us the feeling the thoughts. I know that you worked very hard. We spent a lot of time on these documents. The second one we will be discussing as well. And I think it is, it is important for the COA members to any feedback that you have that you want to share, because there's a lot of information here and I'd like to hear from all COA members. I want everybody to feel like they have a voice tonight. Any thoughts, anyone have any?
Johns, any of the Johns have any comments?
After reading it, it appears to me that you're saying we can all work together as long as you do it my way and my own time.
Okay. So that's the tone.
That's how I see it.
It's, remember, these are just COA comments, so they are comments from the record, so we just see, but, okay. Is there any one particular incident?
Well, I'm curious who made the comments from the COA on all these things.
Pardon?
It might have been a certain group of people.
It was the work group. So the work group began this conversation. And in addition, we went through the meeting. We went through the video and we took comments and questions that were asked in the video. And placed those that were possible. But we didn't assign names to it.
I just want to say that same point, that some of these. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, that was last year. Okay.
I just wanted to add that we did review the minutes and the video from the meeting. And if people spoke at the meeting, their comments are reflected in here as well. I don't personally at this point remember who spoke at the meeting and who did not. But if there were comments made from a COA member at the meeting, they're reflected in here.
They should be, and if they aren't, that's
As
what we
now.
need to hear.
You want to have some things for the working group member, because I want to make sure other people who are
Yeah,
not work. Okay.
I think it's
Yeah.
working group member, just that my understanding of why it's important in this process that we do this phase is working groups had a lot of time to work on this. We work a lot. But to make sure that, if anyone else on the council that's not on it in the interim has said, gee, I wish I'd said that, now's the time to get your feedback in. Because it's not carved in stone. It's okay. If there's something we've missed or that we didn't miss it, but you thought of it since, please tell us.
Yeah, I think the opening is a year and a half away now, so we don't really have to have anything carved in stone. I think you should give them time to put together their presentation to us, and then we can talk about it.
Well, that's what's happened.
I didn't put my hand, no, the way I feel particularly about working groups and subcommittees, whatever you want to call them. they do a lot of work. They do a tremendous amount of work, and I think you just gotta sit back and rely on them and trust their judgment. And maybe you could find a little thing, a tiny thing here and there that you might agree with, but I don't want to start picking anything apart because I don't see any need to. I think it's the fruits of a lot of hard work by people. It's fine with me.
This document.
Yes.
Oh, okay, good, because there's two working groups. There's the town working group, the operations
Oh.
working group, and then there's the COA.
Oh, they're fine too.
Okay, any other thoughts? Rosemary?
I want to thank everybody who did all this work. There is a lot of time and work involved with it, and I appreciate each one of you. For me, as a member of the senior center, I come here to be involved, to meet people, to end isolation. And going forward with our new location, we have to be sure that the 60+ community has access for those needs all the time. And are not isolated or barred from a certain area. But then also, there's a section in here that I think involves donations, in various forms. I think we have to advertise that and get the community to know that they can make donations. They can give us their house if they have no people to leave it to, or their car, and you can sell it. People don't understand that we are looking for donations. I think that has to be more widely publicized. So isolation, donations, transportation for the elderly is very important. Transportation to this new location. Only right side of Reading is gonna have easy access to that. Anybody on the other side of Main Street, we're gonna have to either go down Charles or pick up the highway. And I don't think a lot of people actually even know where this location is, so we need to get that information out. I don't know, structurally regarding the streets, if we have to look into the streets and see if we can put right-hand turns in. Or if we need more light, you know, well, these those kinds of issues. I don't know who's covering what issue, I'm just throwing out some thoughts. So donations, isolation, more information where these people are gonna go for the senior center. And we need to have access to that all day. We want it. So I'll get something else here.
Other topics. I think your point brings up the importance of why Jenna and Carrie are meeting in next Thursday and what they want to have those monthly meetings, because a lot of the people who attend senior events here at the RCTV Center are really aware of what's happening. Because I know I've had conversations here myself, and you know, they have other concerns more than that. They talk about other things that they more concerned about. So I think letting them know more about retail and part of it about, but I got some interesting feedback from the in meeting with some of the citizens here who come to the events.
So you came to meetings here or activities and you talked to different people?
I'd like to hear from you.
We have a tea coming up. Why don't you come to the tea?
Yeah,
I work.
Oh, yeah, the history thing.
Any other thoughts? Yes, Tom.
Yeah, I'd just like to say that at this time, I appreciate the work that was done here. It was very interesting and easy to follow with the slide in the COA comments. I really didn't have much followed a lot in the meetings. The goals and mission statements are very clearly outlined. The only thing I'd like to say, I think it's a very ambitious statement, and I hope the goals and mission statements of the seniors can be met that are outlined clearly here on this paper.
Okay. So, the intention then is we share other policy documents, we see the feedback on documents, so we'll share that one, it's actually, it's now, it's part of this package, so we'll share it and we can discuss it at the operations. If I'm working with you.
We'll take a quick glance at it just to make sure that some of the things that Rosemary listed are in here, especially the transportation. Take a quick look at it.
Yeah, and we will be having sorry. Sorry. We will be having a transportation update too. It's on the timeline, might get pushed a little, but that is forthcoming as well. So.
What did I do have, I always wear lunch show.
So we keep this.
And so, like one of the things, it says daily lunches should be served, so I think, I think about the wording that, the consideration should be, there should be consideration about what to do about lunches. As opposed to daily lunches should be served. I think some room for collaboration and conversation and compromise is important. For example, I went to Wellington's, senior center today, awesome place, working really well. And we said to their executive director, and I asked if they serve lunches, and they also serve lunches on Tuesday. And so that's the way it works for them. They get food from Minuteman Food Services. I also called North Andover to see what they, because I thought, we have an opportunity, and still, at least we don't even have a contractor. We have time to work things out. So, I know, for example, the Newton building has opened up. I think that would be really helpful to have a field trip to there and have a conversation with those people. But I did call North Andover as well, and they do serve lunches every day. And they ask for a $2 donation, and they get their food from, she told me I forget there, from another service. But, so again, there's some variability, and so to say daily lunches should be served, I think it's, that's an example of looking into how we going to handle lunches in this building. So it's just, that's just my thought. Oh, yes, but it's not about lunches. It's also the problem of who's paying up for food and how we get it to a new location. Here, we're very centralized and we have access to a couple of different. I don't know if it's gonna be feasible to do a lunch every day, if you're gonna have enough money to do that. Well, feasibility is one of the things that the operations working for this one can do. And so, I know that both of those senior centers say that their donation is not mandatory to pay for the lunches, so that's why they do the policies. And so we'll see what works for our center. But if you have to make it mandatory. Maybe. Right, that, I'm sure you'll find that the conversation as they get closer to the opening of the, so the other thing we got in here too is our rental. This actually in here for renting. I think we should open it up for rental, especially maybe like Saturday and Sunday. People are always looking for a place to have showers, baby showers, bridal showers, reveal showers, whatever. And we should be able to generate income that way, but we have to make it very clear regarding them cleaning up after themselves. And who's setting it up and who's cleaning it up, and there's the trash and how they're leaving the kitchen. Even to the point if we video everything and show them this is how it's supposed to be left. You don't leave it dirty and then go over it. Take extra money from them and say if it isn't clean, you're using the money. You have to clean. Yeah.
Well, I think too, a lot of the things that are raised in here are gonna be budget based, and we don't have a budget. We're 2 years out, so I think it's hard to pinpoint and nail down, we're gonna do lunch every day, or we're gonna offer these programs and set it in stone right now, because 2 years from now, we don't have an idea what the staffing is gonna be approved, what the town budget's gonna be. So I think we can state it, and we can say that this is what we'd like, but I don't think we can expect that everything that we want is gonna be there because we just don't have the funds set aside for it. And we're looking at overrides and all other kinds of things. So I think it's important to state what we would like, but we also have to realize that not everything that we want, we might not be able to get it.
It's actually, it's a May 27th soft opening, so it's a little over a year away. And yes, I agree with you about the budget. It's gonna be a challenge, and that's part of our concern as well, is that if you don't grapple with these now and begin trying to think how you're gonna address them. So for example, one of the things that I'm concerned about was that I think, and I need to go back and listen to the meeting again, but in the oral overview of the FY, let me get this straight, 27 that we got at our last meeting, I don't think there was any mention of building in costs for the first 2 months of the soft opening, but there's gonna be costs in May and June in the FY 27 budget. And I'm not hearing that represented, and I think that is an issue that has to be, much more time has to be spent talking about that. You're right, Karen.
I know it does seem like a long way in the future, but as Kate mentioned, the soft opening is May 27th next year, which is part of fiscal year 2027. So, well, I think we don't know for sure. We just have questions about, are there operating expenses associated with the soft opening, which would occur during fiscal year 2027. So that's where we're going.
Okay, well, and again, one of the conversations we've had, working with a really deep concern that this went by everybody in town government, finance, select board, et cetera, without the project. I'm talking when I say this, I mean the project writ large, the project, moving it toward getting it approved for an override and everything, without a deep discussion of what the operating costs would be in this new building. Because it wasn't necessary, I mean, it wasn't gonna be part of the debt that had to be taken for it, but it's a significant portion. If you build a building and you can't operate it the way you want to operate it, that's something you should be thinking about in the whole process while you're deciding. And I know for at least many of us on the working group, that has been a significant concern. That at the town level, they're not yet really focusing on that. And anyway, I'll stop.
Or that it may appear that they're not.
Right, it may appear. I'm not hearing any conversation, yes.
I just want to mention that we did hire a consultant during the process. So we had an operational consultant that came in and gave us a preliminary plan. And that's what the operations working group is working on now, is taking that plan and making sure it is accurate with our new rental prices that we have. And doing those projections and looking at the future of staffing. I think why we didn't deep dive initially as a whole is because we didn't know if it was gonna pass or not. And the operational plan is a very heavy lift. Like, it's not like a spreadsheet of like 5 things. So I think as a team, we were like, well, let's wait and see if this actually passes, and then we'll dive right into that. And we have been internally, and now that we have the operations working group and that other plan that the consultant worked on, we're hoping to come forward with that comprehensive plan for you all. And I think that will really like give you more confidence in the building and what we're looking at for the future. So, and I understand that concern.
What is a soft opening? Would we be having like a big open house? Would we be advertising that ahead of time? Asking the town to come? What's a soft opening? I think a soft, I think a soft opening is you actually have activities and you have staff there and you invite the seniors come or rec comes. And that's when you start to have your punch sheet, your structure that this didn't work right, we have to correct this. And that's to see if everything flows in the way that it should flow when the actual opening occurs.
Is there a difference? Is there a soft opening date and then, or is there a, just, I don't even, is there one date?
There's, I thought it was June 2027 was when it was going to be open. I don't know, like the soft launch or I've heard mixed things about this, but I don't think that there's a plan to do it either way. We might want to do a big opening and do an open house or something, but I don't think we're there yet. But do you
Yeah.
have anything to add
So,
to
and
that?
actually, yeah, this, I have some detail. I can add some color to this conversation. Because this permitting on this project was pushed, we delayed bidding on this project. So I was trying to pull up, the timeline. So you probably are pulling that number off the timeline. We have a discussion at every permanent building committee meeting about what that timeline looks like. So I'm trying to pull that up to refresh my memory, but there are many milestones at the end of a construction project that we go through. So there's, substantial completion is a real thing. Then when you get your occupancy permit, when you come off builder's risk insurance and go onto the town, the building goes onto the town's insurance. So there's a lot that goes on. What I think is useful is for us to get feedback on how the Council on Aging would like the opening to look like. Because initially, I envision we'll have staff, before we move in, before stuff is available, the public can't go in, right? We have to make sure everything's safe and the finishes are done and so forth. We can definitely arrange tours for the Council on Aging as we go. And I've asked for a camera to be put on that building project so we can see, time lapse detail as the building goes up, and we'll have like a cool video we can play at the end, which I think will be really satisfying. You guys can tell us, do you want, like, maybe we have some docents from the Council on Aging who tour the building, know the building, and do small group tours through for the community as we open. Recreation the same, and so you guys can have a role in that once we're moved in, and and we're kind of like, we're moving out of Pleasant Street Center and then into Recalent, and what you want that to look like, that plenty of time to figure out what that would be. What do you want to do with this space? And do you want to kind of have a little ceremony for leaving the Pleasant Street Center? And I think that would be kind of a thing. We will be, my colleague Katie Gabriello and I will be in front of the Council on Aging. I think we've asked them for some time, or if we haven't, we will soon, to talk about the future of this project. We're doing a survey. We're doing a little road show to the different boards and committees and commissions to ask them their opinion. We were at Historical Commission last week, and we're getting a lot of information about, what that body thinks of. You're our volunteers, you're invested. We want your opinions on what this could be for the future as well, because we're thinking about staffing, I'm thinking about FY 28 in our budget, and what Elder and Human Services looks like, what my staffing is going to look like for these wonderful people and their colleagues for FY 28. So we are looking at that. I don't have details on FY 29. I'm trying to pull FY 27 to town meeting, but we are thinking concurrently. And I think that's important for you to know. What else? And we're planning the future, and we're trying to do the operation. So we're all working on a bunch of different things, all sort of related to the same thing at the same time, with consultants and other volunteers and multiple boards. And so, we are grateful for the feedback that you're giving us, and we will incorporate that. I love hearing the ideas. And I want it to be very clear that you all have a role in how this building will open, and how we go forward. So, the conversation is continuing. It doesn't start and stop. I don't know if I answered your question, so I think I answered a few. When is the hard opening? Because I didn't answer that. I distracted myself. It's late. I've been, so because the permitting pushed the bid date, we're opening the bids February 5th. So that's pushing us closer to August. So sometime into the summer of 2027. Okay, for when the doors are gonna open. So just, the numbers are, it's soft, things are moving around. We'll have a better idea when we awarded the contract. We'll have a better idea as they start doing the groundwork and pulling out the trees and, you know, boulders and getting a sense of, did they run into something? Sometimes projects run into something that slow you down. So we will see how conditions go, but we have the best people on this project. We have the best building committee, we have the smartest building committee in all the land. But we also have fantastic, we really do. Reading is just so fortunate for the folks we have on our building committee, as Ron, I'm sure, can attest. But we also have just a fantastic group of our architects and our OPM are top notch. They really, really are. So excited. I've worked with this OPM before on two other school projects. Peter Collins, so he's just fantastic. So.
Well, I appreciate you looking to us in terms of the transition to the new building. That I like the idea of just having this projections and looking on, and that we can have an active role as the COA and helping with that transition.
100%, no, 100%. It's really important and, you know, again, we'll do tours for the Council on Aging, not for all of the community. We can't open it up to the community. This is a hard hats, you know, kind of scenario. And at certain points, and they're not open all the time, like it's a privilege to be able to go, and it's a lot of work to organize them because it's construction. And so we'll be very careful when you want to make a request to go see it, you know, we'll work with our team to make that happen. So,
Yeah, and I love that idea of leaving it up to you to kind of decide if you want some type of grand opening or if you want to just progressively move into the building, because Newton did a grand opening and Sandwich didn't. So it'll be interesting to see what you all think, and I love that idea, and I'm open to that. Carrie, I'm sure you want to say.
I appreciate that summary, Gene. Is it possible going forward over the next year and a half, whatever, that periodically you could give a summary similar to what you've just done here to the council? That might be, even if we did it during a regular meeting.
I'll
or
just come
maybe
to
a
all the
Special
meetings.
meeting, just to give us, you know.
Yes, ma'am. I will come to all the meetings. I will try to add color where I can.
Well, I think it's important, it's uplifting, it's like, okay, we were just informed about all of this, wonderful. Thank you.
We're gonna have a great time. It's
Oh,
gonna be
so
fabulous.
I think, and I'm ready to put the event and let's go for it.
There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do. And I'm grateful that we aren't doing it by ourselves, you know, and it's important that we're getting this feedback. And I just want everybody to feel like we are in partnership all the time. We are in partnership. There's a lot going on. And I'm really especially grateful for Carrie and for Jenna because they've really been carrying the load a lot. And Jenna for
Years.
100 years. Yeah, you look fabulous.
Yeah.
But no, you've been really ushering this along for a long time. And before, you know, all of us, it was Jean Delius, you know, and Jane. And so this has been a long time coming. I know all of you know that, but also staff, even though we haven't been in these roles all along, we also.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just real quick, something Wilmington did. I think it might have even been their soft opening, but I'm not sure. Two things. One is like their kitchen wasn't ready and they had no one who was yet trained to use it, even if it were, but that didn't cause them to not open. They just knew it was coming and maybe they've changed their plan. She told me they intended to every day once they get people trained, but it could have changed since she talked to me. But one of the things that they did that sounded really fun was they had the high school band come and lead a parade into the building. And apparently it was so wonderful, the junior high band was really jealous. So they had to schedule another parade with the junior high band, but that's, it's the fun you're talking about that gets people excited.
Community involved.
Yeah.
One of the activities today at the Wilmington Center was an elementary school went to the senior center and made Valentine's Day cards.
Oh, cute.
And we've got the Killen School right across the street, so we can have some partnerships there. Rosemary.
Regarding staffing, we're going to have staff to take care of the elder needs and what we want in this new center. and then a separate staff to take care of other type of needs and that they're gonna be booking rooms for, and which one is gonna take precedent? Are we gonna take care of the elder needs first? Or for what? Older maybe kindergarten kids wanna come in and want the same room we want.
So that's all computer stuff. You can, it's all part of the, that you talk about program planning.
Yes, we have been charged with that, we have, ladies are very knowledgeable. Taking care of the elders. Who's gonna be taking care of,
Right, and that would be recreation, Jim Sullivan and Will and Veteran Services too, because he'll have access to the rooms as well. So if you read through the programming plan, there are dedicated spaces for the 60+, but a majority of the other rooms, I think the gym's up in the air right now. But
a majority of the.
yeah, because of the gym, would be 60+ priority. So they're not dedicated spaces in perpetuity to the 60+, but you guys would get priority. So if Anna from the senior center came and said, I want to run Zumba in the gym for 50 people, a special event, and Jim wants to run something else in the gym for little kids, then you would take priority.
The 60+. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
something like that in whatever room it applies to.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, so the second document. The working group, and that's one helpful to you?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And, the next is at the end. Yes. Actually, I do also want to call everyone's attention to the flooring document, was added in. So, thank you very much. That was a question that came up to that last week's meeting, and you gave us this one document that was annually to the packet. It's on the last meeting. So it tells everything about the flooring.
I just wanted to add a thank you too. I went through that and all the questions that I had at least, it was very helpful to get that. And the formatting of it, I assume that came from whoever it came from. It was so helpful to just see each room and what it was and what it can be used for and everything. I really appreciated seeing that.
So it was very detailed and, yeah, you have to rank it.
Just trying to zoom out.
Because that might be helpful to other members of the community. They might be interested to see this as well. And it is in the packet, so the packet has been posted on the COA website. Okay, COA website as well, right? Can you put yourself on mute?
Got it.
Okay, thank you. So. Very detailed, yes, Kate.
So did you just say the packet's on the COA website?
I think so. Okay.
It was included in ours that we got
Yeah, we got.
as committee
But I don't
members,
think
but in a
it's posted.
public venue, is it visible to everybody?
I hope so.
I think so.
Because
Yeah,
it wasn't posted with our agenda, like,
It's all in document.
Right.
Yeah, just the
package,
agenda
yeah.
was posted.
We didn't have-
right,
Yeah.
so I'm trying to figure out, is there a public place where these documents can be seen? That's,
Yeah, they're on a recount page on the website. So I don't know if this has been uploaded yet, but I'll take a look right now.
Yeah, in this particular packet, since I got the information yesterday, I didn't send it to the town clerk, but typically we would have the packet the Thursday before. And then the packet and the agenda would go to the town clerk,
because
so,
so I
So
know
it will
that's
be up
been
there.
something we've asked for and it doesn't always happen. So-
Yeah.
And this time I do get it with the holiday, yeah.
yeah.
We didn't get all this information until the weekend.
Right.
There was a day
Yeah.
off on Monday.
A
Yes.
quick
Jim.
thing. Now, this particular document, for reference purposes going back, is there a date logged into this document? I couldn't
Oh.
see if there was a date at the bottom or at the top, so you can always refer back to it. This is the newest update with the flooring. Is it down tiny? Oh, there it
It
is.
says 1/15/26 on it.
Oh,
at the
it
bottom.
is. It's at the, yeah.
Okay, so I just wanted to acknowledge that this has this did come up last week, and thank you, town staff, for immediately giving us very detailed, very informative flooring plan. Yes, Marilyn.
Quick question, just technical. In the multi-purpose room, it says luxury vinyl tile, but it's okay for low impact dance, flexible space. Does that mean it does or doesn't have any cushioning?
Not a lot.
No, okay, so it's not a lot different from here, or it is still a lot different from here? I'm just thinking, is it an opportunity that if we wanted to move something to a larger room, is it or isn't it gonna work?
You can move a dance program there, sure. I
Okay,
wouldn't necessarily move an aerobics.
okay,
How about that?
that,
Because usually dance floors are harder, so you can spin on them. My daughter did dance for 150 years. She's only 23. 22. But,
all right, that helps.
and Marley Ford.
Okay. Oh, Tom.
Am I, on this floor that we're talking about, that it doesn't need a cover? I've been to some gyms when they're having events, dances or something, they put kind of a cover over the floor for any spills or anything like that, and they remove the cover afterwards. So this floor is just going to be when the event goes in, if it's a dance, it's just gonna stay,
On the gym floor?
I'm saying on this, multi-purpose floor, that's,
So, Madam Chair, well, I think the only covering I can think of putting would be on the gym floor,
okay.
on the hardwood floor. Like if, the town clerk has expressed interest in holding voting at this facility so that we don't impact school operations. And so if that were the case, we might want to put a flooring down to protect that hardwood. It's a maple hardwood floor. I do have a question into our design team if the pricing includes that covering. That we'll ask the flooring contractor to also include the covering. That's not unheard of, but I don't know the answer to that question. So yeah, but we wouldn't need a covering in the multi-purpose room. That is
No.
vinyl tile. It is a newer product than anything I have in my house, but I might add that to my house. It's more common now. It's very easy to clean. It's resilient, lasts a long time, and it's easy to replace pieces if you need to.
Okay. All right, and then the last document is progress update. We don't have page numbers, but it's near the end of it. It's after the end of the other. So progress update is everyone.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start by thanking the operations working group, town staff, and with fellow COA members for their incredible work in planning. I'd like to give special recognition to Jenna, the services director, Mary, and Elder and Human Services Administrator, and Jane, our assistant town manager. Thank you for your guidance and your dedication to this has been invaluable, and we deeply appreciate all the time and energy you put into situating during this. To me, it's clear that everyone here shares the goal of creating a facility that truly serves our seniors. And we see a few opportunities to collaborate further to make sure the center is as successful and welcoming as possible. These are more like opportunities rather than concerns, just ways that we see to strengthen what's already underway. So we've highlighted key points along with recommended next steps. These aren't directives, these are just suggestions that we feel would help us to continue to move forward. And with each key point, we've also noted potential consequences if they're not addressed. In my capacity as a project manager, what I've learned is that the earlier you catch things in the project, the more cost savings you realize. If you catch something during requirements, it's 10 times less expensive than if you catch it during design. If you catch it during development, it's 10 times more than it is during design. So we're just trying to work together to try to catch these things as early as possible and then collaborate together. So the first key point is the operating budget. And we talked about it a little bit already. as noted, the opening is closer than we think. It's 18 months or so away. And fiscal year runs until June of 2027. So we understand that building an operating budget, I know having served on FinCom, it's a tremendous amount of work. It's very hard. Appreciate all the work that you're doing. But while it's in development, additional detail on anticipating staffing levels, programming costs, revenue assumptions, all those things would help to ensure that they align with the proposed programs and services. So what we're recommending as a next step is just to provide a range of assumptions and scenarios related to that staffing, operations, programming, and revenue. This has to be, doesn't have to be an exact figure, just a best guess estimate at this point. And then also to collaborate with the Council on Aging to ensure that the budget reflects realistic operational needs and aligns with the services and vision for the facility. We feel that the consequence that that's not addressed now is that there might be a misalignment between programs, staffing, and costs, and that can require costly adjustments or limit program effectiveness after construction. The second key point is the alignment with residents' needs for long-term vision. Just thinking about the 60-plus community we serve, we recommend a clear five-year plan that will guide design and programming and reflect the real needs and experiences of seniors. I know that there's a vision statement that the RCTV committee put together. And I know that a detailed plan at this point is too early, and it would be too hard to come up with one. But something in between, like a master plan that takes the vision and is the transition between the detailed project plan, the detailed plan. And that, that would help ensure that the facility grows with the community. The third key point, so the consequence of that not being addressed is just that lack of clarity could lead to design or program decisions that do not fully meet the community needs, requiring later revisions or limiting the facility's impact. And they're just much more costly when they're caught during the construction phase versus now. The next key point is just to talk about the uniqueness of a senior center in a community space. We all realize that this center's for all ages, and we fully support that vision. And we're excited that everyone in the community can be involved. At the same time, there is the guidance from the National Council on Aging that notes that successful senior centers function as a place where individuals spend a significant portion of their day. For many seniors, this is going to be the place where they make necessary social connections that are essential to their healthy development. And we just want to collaboratively work with them to develop a mock month-long programming and services schedule to illustrate how these proposed spaces and programs would support sustained engagement during the senior center / RCTV operating hours, just to get a rough idea how this is all going to work out. And I think this might also tie into the soft opening. How will this look like when it eventually opens? And then the last key point is that there's a real opportunity for us to strengthen the collaborative process by ensuring consistent representation of the 60-plus community during planning discussions. So we just recommend that Community Services Operational Planning Committee and the Council on Aging RCTV Working Group meet to discuss enhancement of the collaborative feedback process on the proposed operating planning documents. So in short, these steps give us a chance to build on what's already underway and ensure that the Senior Center RCTV is successful, welcoming, and trusted by the community. And again, I want to thank Jenna, Carrie, Jane, and all the town staff for their partnership and dedication. we're excited to continue working together to make this vision a reality. Thank you very much. And at this point, I'd like to open it up to discussion. Maybe that's.
Well, thank you for sharing this document that I know you all worked with. And I will acknowledge, I appreciate you working on a revision. So thank you for doing that as well. And I would like to open it up to members of the COA members beyond working group who have any comment or feedback. Yes. Okay.
My comment is I totally agree with John about really think about wiring and windows and things like that, that cost a lot more later on. You don't want to have an electrician to come in and have to set up wiring for a computer because wiring isn't there. So when we look at the structure of the building, the walls and the different rooms, what they're being needed for, put the extra plug in. Set up an extra spot for a computer. It's cheaper to do that while the walls are open. So I agree. Thank you. 100%.
Other thoughts? Any other feedback? Good working group, any questions? I think everybody wants to do this. Just want to see if anything else. Okay, well, in case I'm thought and wanted to myself to within the last year, I did read an article about possibility of voting not being allowed in schools anymore. So because we didn't have this new facility, we have a place to vote. Yeah. And that's why we changed it, but as expensive as it might be now, we need a covering for that gym floor. Well, when you're talking about putting on a floor, they have special coverings. Jane, because this is not unusual in gyms. This is.
Yeah, for public building, I'm sorry, yeah, we have one at the high school for the new wood floor there. Just protects it from when you're putting, it's not sneakers on that floor, right? It's streetwear, people coming in any weather and then tables and ballot boxes and the whole thing.
Something you roll out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's rolled out and if facilities would have to plan for it, it's an operation, but it's stored separately and it's rolled out soft. It's a soft covering.
Storage is something that's gonna be very big.
Or they'll hang it at the end of the room and roll it up and pull it up high. I'm not sure.
Unusual, and I don't know anything about it. Yeah.
See, we don't have to know everything.
Right.
We can.
Oh, yeah.
Do they know Jane what that?
I mean, I know everything.
Karen?
Yes, John.
I don't know if anybody remembers because most of you're a lot younger than me. But when we had that big dinner there, probably 30 years ago, that entire field house was covered. Because it was a dinner, there were tables, there was food on the floor. And I mean, you think of the size of that field house compared to what we're gonna have. It should be easy and not a problem, and it's not unusual. Yeah.
Did you? Yes, John.
I was just thinking that in a lot of gyms, they have these interlocking foam squares. I don't know if that might be sufficient, but like, if they want to convert a part of the gym to a softer area to do aerobics, there's this cushiony foam that you can sit on.
Yeah.
And they're just temporary. You just lock them together, put them there for the class. You can remove them after the class. Something like that.
I don't know if those are up for, the public use, like if it's up to, heavy use, where you can store that versus or the amount of time it would take to puzzle it together versus rolling something out.
Right.
So, but I will definitely inquire as to, yeah, it's a great suggestion.
Anything else?
I'm just curious, going to the town website, will there be a special area for recount for the program? When this building opens up, and will there be like a dedicated webmaster, or is that something else? fall on the town to manage.
It's not something we can.
No. Right. Would we submit a program, of things that are going on to the webmaster?
So.
In case I'm thinking seniors before they go out, may want to see what's going on that day.
So it would probably be similar to what we have now. So, and it's. So. Any other thoughts? Ron?
Yeah, sure. Realize I was supposed to after I went, turned it over to Marilyn, we had a motion that she was going to read if we would allow it.
Oh, no, it's not on the, it's not on the agenda as well.
So we'll put it on
Tonight's
next,
was a discussion.
so we'll put it on the next agenda.
Yeah, please. Yeah, tonight was a discussion.
Yeah, we make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other thoughts? John?
Just a thought, if you look at the centers in Wilmington, Andover, and Winchester, one of the greatest features is the common area they have, where there's always someplace for people to sit, to socialize, to always have a cup of coffee. And I think that's absolutely one of the most important things in the center, where you've got so many widows and widowers and, you know, people who are alone. I think that is something that should just be there from the time the doors open in the morning until the time they close in the afternoon. I think it's very important.
And Jane was willing, Jane, thank you, Jane brought the latest, these is what the contractors are working off of?
Yeah, these are in the bid documents. These are from the bid documents. They're the first floor and second floor drawings. So you want to look at, they are not as easy to read as what was in your packet. So our architect, Jenna, requested that, and the architect put that together for us, so it's a little easier to read. He called out what was where and what was the appropriate usage. That's all in like the key and deep in the documents. I was like, I can't put that, but you can look through these. I'm happy to stay out of the meeting and talk with folks about that.
And you'll see, John, the first row lounge area, and it overlooks the patio, and so you'll see that in the corner. What you're describing, so, you know, the need for a social area is really important. And you can see how it's designed in those documents. Yeah,
So social area and lounge area, John's talking about, will it be only for 60+ community, or people gonna be coming and going in that area?
It's a dedicated 60+ lounge on either side of the wall.
I think that it is very important that we can sit down and have a cup of coffee, say hello to the person next to us, start a conversation. It's needed, 60+, and writing.
and that's when it be one of the wonderful things.
So, is it time for that when I have to be dedicated and not somewhere, or can we go anytime to the center and know that that's where we can sit and have a cup of coffee and talk to the 60+ community?
Anytime.
So I'm
During operating
Yeah,
hours.
so-
Yeah.
Not 3 o'clock in the morning.
So if there's nothing else, our next meeting is going to be, they will always be the second Monday of the month. Except May 11th is the second Monday in May, and I will be away, so we can either, I can step aside and have somebody else chair it, or if we could reschedule it in May. So, the next meeting is the second Monday in February, is February. 9th. February 9th, 6 o'clock here. And, look forward to collaborating with Carrie about setting up that agenda.
Yep.
You survived 2 meetings with us.
I have
someone.
Yeah, well, thank you.
We really value your input and your perspective.
Thank you.
And you've got a 14 years.
Yes, yes. A long time.
You're doing a wonderful job.
Oh, thank you, Rosemary.
Good motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Oh, John left, so all those in favor, opposed? Meeting's adjourned. Yay.